I've had such a stressful day. I have not been drinking, and I'm drinking. So here we are.
Well, here we are.
I'm turning you up on my... Okay, cool.
You look adorable.
So do you.
Thank you.
Gosh. Okay, so we have so much
to talk about.
And it's not all doom and gloom.
No, there is hope in this world.
Oh my gosh.
So much hope. It's super exciting. It is very, very exciting.
I know. I feel like every podcast we've done up until now has been like, well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Well, Black Lives Matter still, if you haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, all of this stuff. But now
we have like
all of that stuff still happened. Yes, and Black lives do still matter. But hey,
there is there is something that is happening,
right?
And it's even though
it's somewhat moving forward,
right? Slightly, a little bit. We can, we can breathe for like a second, and that's nice because we haven't been able to breathe. Like I've woken up feeling good.
Yeah,
Michael is sleeping at night.
I still have not hit that mark yet, but it's nearing. Nearing the end.
It's been good. It's not great, but it's been real good.
Yeah.
Plus, we have our first female vice president.
Yes. So that was one of my news stories. So not only is she the first female, she is the first Black and Asian.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of
boxes. Oh yeah, a lot of black boxes.
Yeah. Plus, she has the first husband.
Mm-hmm. The first husband, and
he's Jewish. So it's like
I
checking off boxes too. And she didn't take his last name.
She did not. And she didn't give birth to any children. All of the children are his from a previous marriage.
Yeah.
She's a stepmom. I mean, she's pretty fucking awesome.
What is all of this?
Yeah.
This is so much.
I'm not going to lie. On Saturday when the news came through, I was holding Hazel. She was waking up from a nap, and she was probably like, what the fuck is happening? Because I'm holding her, and I am crying, and I'm going, you can be president one day. It's not a pipe dream. It can happen.
Yeah.
And I was just like crying. And she probably was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Probably like, I don't want this country. I don't want this shit.
Hey, hopefully by the time
you're like, I don't blame you. It's a mess.
It's a fucking, we're going to clean it. We're working on cleaning it up. We're working on cleaning it up. You know what else I like? I like that he's been so muted since his loss. And he fucking lost. And he has been so muted since his loss.
We're seeing that Casey was looking at, because Casey does a political podcast, so he has to be up on that stuff as well. So he was looking at some political sites, and they are still projecting, even if Trump does come back with a lawsuit, people like pollsters are still saying it really does not matter.
Yeah.
Biden is still projected to win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Everything was done.
Georgia, it's not going to matter.
Everything was done according to standards. So sucks to be you.
Yeah, we all knew he was going to do this, though. He was setting up to do it. He was planning to do it the whole time. We knew he wasn't going to walk away because he's an authoritarian.
I want it this way because I love a drama. I love a drama, and I want to see him kicking and screaming as he exits the building.
Just a little bit.
I do.
I was likening 2020 is a parent calmly doing a meeting on Zoom while a child throws a tantrum in the back.
Absolutely.
That is 2020 in an idea. especially this election.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sure.
So my second news story is also election related, because of course it is, but it's in regards to my favorite person coming out of this election, Stacey Abrams. And we talked about this. Obsessed with her.
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
She better be running the DNC from now on.
Forever, for the rest of her life.
If she's not running for president.
Listen, I literally said those very words last night.
She should be in charge of the DNC.
Like, or not next year, but next time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I've told you this, but I'm going to tell our audience this. If you have not listened to her podcast, any podcast that she's ever been on, because she's doing the podcast circuit, or she was doing it before election time, my two favorites were David Tennant does a podcast with, and it's Stacey Abrams, or Smartless. Those are the absolute two that you should listen to. And the reason I'm recommending those two is because she is a Whovian. Okay?
She's great.
She is an absolute nerd. And so when she did the Dr. Tennant.
Dr. Tennant.
Clearly I haven't drank in a while. But when she did the David Tennant one, she freaking lost her shit. And it was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, honestly, I think I would lose my shit talking to David Tennant. Absolutely.
Have you watched Staged on Hulu? You totally should. Did you?
Don't have Hulu. Hulu's like the one I don't have.
You want to use my login to watch it? Because you should.
You should send me your login. I probably shouldn't announce it here, but you should send
it to me. They don't all get it. I'd be like
everyone.
But so good. And she did these before the election, and so to hear it now, you're like, oh, she knew all of this. She is such an
she knew what she was doing.
Voter suppression, and she is just so on it. She is so on it.
She knew exactly what happened when she lost. She knew why she lost, and it wasn't because she ran a bad a bad campaign or anything like that. She knew that why she lost was voter suppression, especially in a place like Georgia. And she was like, fuck this, I can fix this. And so instead of focusing on her own political career, she's like, I'm going to fix voter suppression. And she did. She changed Georgia to blue.
Not only did she fix it, she's trying to fix the next one. She's
all over. She's like, we can do this everywhere. Yeah. And that's why she needs to be in charge of the DNC.
She needs to be literally in charge of the world, to be honest. And
I mean, like, it's such an amazing story. Like, she's got such an amazing story. She's such an amazing person. And it's like, so boss.
So much. And
women won this election. Women did this. And not white women, because bitches.
Oh, I was about to say women of color absolutely came through.
I am super pissed at white women right now.
Don't even get me started.
I'm just like,
don't even get me. But another little glimmer of light. The record of Native Americans are now currently holding office. Also.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Also, they won this election.
Yeah.
They fucking put in the work, and they rode horses. There were stories about them riding horses.
Because they were like, everything's closed to us, so we have no polling places open, so we have no choice but to use any means necessary to get.
And they knew for a fact that if this current president stayed in office, their fucking life was destroyed, and they knew how important it was. So white people, you still suck ass. You need to get your shit together. I'm fucking sick of you.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch John Oliver?
I do not.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of I catch stuff on YouTube after it's happened, but other than that.
He said it perfectly, where Joe Biden had made a speech that said something about Trump had said, he is not showing who we are, talking about Trump. And John Oliver was like, unfortunately, he shows exactly who we are as Americans.
Yeah.
Trump shows exactly who we are as Americans, because
it's the worst part of it. Yeah.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
We are racist, and we are, because he he let them out. He let them, like zoo animals. He's like, set them free, and unfortunately they all showed up in spades.
Well, they've been waiting for an excuse for so long.
Exactly right. They were hiding in the shadows, and now they're fucking free as a bird.
Mm-hmm. And we just need to, honestly, they can just, hopefully they're going to die off.
I know. I'm hoping that all those people were.
I do think
to say.
I know. I do think it's kind of funny. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny where it's like, man, Trump could really use those 200,000 votes right now, huh?
Yeah. Right. Girl, hold on.
Oh, you did it! I love it.
We did. We went all out because I was like, it's 2020. We're doing it.
No, it's fine. Mikey is still dead set on day after Thanksgiving, which is our tradition.
Get it?
So it's like
it's most people's tradition, and I totally get it.
Sometimes you need normalcy.
I get it. In my case, I'm like, so it has been 1 year since I got my neck surgery.
Oh my God. I remember that.
As of the recording day today.
Wow.
1 year since I've got my neck surgery. And how did I hurt my neck, you may ask? Getting out Christmas decorations. So how did I celebrate? I got my tree out.
That's awesome.
Bold move. So I'm changing the subject. If you are listening, and we will also put a promo out, submit your artwork for Revolution Rosies. If you want to make some cool artwork to be on stickers and buttons, we would love to make some cute little merch. Nothing major, no shirts just yet, because I don't know. 2020 is weird. Nobody has like tons of money to spend just yet, but we would love to make some of our stuff to put out into the world. Wouldn't that be
little fun? Things? You can put like our button on your jean jacket.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Yes. I think that would be super cool to have a Revolution Rosies pin on some fighter gear. So I think that would be so sweet.
I'm down with that. That reminds me of something I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, good. Okay.
Even if it's as little as I've spent the last 4 months depressed and I was able to get out and go take a walk, we will cheer you on. We want to hear about it. We want everyone to hear about it. So let us know.
Please. Yes. If you're a man listening and you're proud of your wife for staying home with your kid doing virtual school.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah. We will listen. I love it. Please send them in. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, we didn't even tell people what they're listening to.
We never do. You guys know where you're at right now, right? If not,
this is Revolution Rosies.
Hi. And if you haven't heard it a million times, I'm Betty LeRoux.
And I'm Vivienne Vega, about a half hour into the episode.
Right. And if you don't know what we do, we talk about badass women in history. And we just talk about a lot of women you've probably not heard about. Some of them you have, but stories that you've never heard about.
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, this episode is brought to you by a listener. So we did a show last November for a vote show, Get Out and Vote, a voter registration show. And there was a person in the crowd who found us on Twitter after that evening and suggested that we do one on sports. And that person is Muriel's Parental Unit on Twitter. And so
such a cute handle.
It is so cute. So I was like, I know literally nothing about sports. And so they came back and was like, well, here is a really good person that you should totally look into.
Oh, that's awesome.
And gave me this person. And when I started looking into this person, I was like, oh my God, there's so much here. Yes.
Oh, great. You have like that insider info.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to tell Betty.
You know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I definitely. Oh.
So I today will be taking Muriel's parental unit on Twitter's suggestion and talking about Mildred, Ella, Babe, Didrikson. Sorry.
Can I make a guess? Can I make it? Can it be like 50s baseball? Can I make a guess? 50s baseball?
That's part of it.
Okay.
Not even 50s. Not even 50s.
Not in 50s. Well, you said Mildred, and I was like, okay, this one's old.
It is old. It is old. That's baseball's part of it.
Okay, I'm here.
Just a little tiny part. Just a little smidge. Eventually, Zaharias is also a last name. So
it's a great last name.
She was known for being super good at literally every sport, is what I put on my notes. All handwritten again, so I apologize.
It's okay. I
marveled.
I forgot to bring it in, but I found the notebook that I first started taking notes when we first started talking about starting the podcast. I found it while we were unpacking. So I'm going to start using it again.
Isn't that crazy?
3 years.
So crazy. All right. So here is what she excelled in.
Okay.
This is just what she excelled in. Not all that she did, just what she excelled in.
Got it.
She excelled in golf, basketball, baseball, and track and field.
Well-rounded. Yeah.
4 things. I excel in this many. 0. Okay. Born in Port Arthur, Texas. Fun fact, that's the same place as Janis Joplin. Born on June 26th, 1911. And she was the 6th of 7 children. That's a lot.
That is a lot of children. Sorry, I have a child crying in the background. I'm hoping Daddy's getting her.
Oh, do you want to wait? She was born to immigrant parents from Norway.
What year?
1911.
Damn. Okay.
Yes.
Way early.
The year before Titanic sank. I'm just full of historical facts.
You are.
Though her mother called her Bebe, Bebe? B-E-B-E. I
imagine it like Moira Rose, and it's like...
I also did when I was writing it.
Bebe.
Bebe. From her toddler years, she claims, Mildred, claims that the nickname Babe came from when she was playing street baseball with her neighborhood children and hit 5 home runs in one game.
So was this like Babe Ruth time, Babe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, from Babe Ruth. So folks called her Babe as in Babe Ruth. So who knows which story is true? I don't know. Folklore. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
So it could have been either way. She wasn't a great student, and she dropped out of high school without graduating. But it didn't really matter because after she dropped out, she moved to Dallas and ended up playing basketball and kind of earning a living doing.
As a female basketball player?
I mean, I wouldn't consider it like earning a living playing basketball as a female basketball player. She worked and played basketball.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, she earned a living playing basketball. She wasn't
Gotcha.
in the WNBA or anything. That didn't exist quite yet. But
I was going to say, that wasn't a thing.
She played basketball and earned a living in Dallas. Because Dallas was a pretty big city even then. Along with excelling in sports, she was also a superb seamstress because why not?
That sounds like good rounded out.
Oh, it gets even better. Did it happen again?
It's Manchu.
Oh. Keep thinking your house is haunted. Oh, Lord. Your house is spooking me.
I don't mean it to. I just have everything in this house wants my attention at all times.
So not only did she like just sew things, she was like a competitive seamstress, which I didn't know was a thing.
How do you compete seamstressing?
I don't know. Like, do they go by speed or do they go by like how good it looks?
What is it? I mean, like, was it like that day's version of like Project Runway?
I don't know. I thought like the Great British Baking Show, but yeah, I guess Project Runway makes more sense.
But I mean, like, I wonder if it was like based on like, you know, like how well her like pleats went together and
Right.
all of that stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. She made all of her own clothes, including her golf uniforms.
Well, I mean, if you're a competitive seamstress, you better be wearing all your own clothes.
Gosh, why not? Like, oh, I love your blouse. Where'd you get it? Oh,
I made it myself. I'm a competitive seamstress.
You may have heard of me. My name is Mildred Babe. Mildred Babe. I'm not going to say my last name because it's hard for me to say. Not to be outdone by her own success, I wrote. She was also a musician.
That's awesome as well.
Babe was a singer, and she played harmonica, and she was signed by Mercury Records.
So she was even signed by a record company.
I literally can't even.
I love it.
I literally can't even. I can't even.
Like a harmonica, even though.
And she had a hit with I Felt a Little Teardrop.
Oop.
I didn't listen to it, but boy, am I going to find it, and I'm going to post it in the YouTube link.
I'm already like, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, so we're going to find it, and I'm going to post it in the YouTube link. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, I'll post it. After high school, she got a job with Employers Casualty Insurance Company of Dallas as a secretary, just so she could play basketball on the company's team. So, like, they sought her out just to be on the basketball team for them.
That's fun.
I know. Like, is that what they did back then?
I don't know. I mean, like, because, like, companies used to have, like, basketball teams and stuff. You know, like...
And, like, they were competitive enough to be like, we need a secretary that's going to really knock their socks off.
Our ladies, like, team could use a boost. We're going to hire this woman.
I think they were co-ed.
Oh, what?
I think they were co-ed because they didn't really, like, have, like, I don't know. They didn't really specify, but she was kind of killing everybody at this time.
Cool.
She was killing everybody. So the company's team was governed by the AAU, which is the Amateur Athletic Union, which I've heard of AAU, but I never knew what it stood for.
I don't know that I've even ever heard of the AAU.
I played sports for a second. 1 second. And I was an aggressive basketball player. And if my mother is listening to this, she will laugh because she will realize that I was aggressive. I used to like football players, strong arm people, and it wasn't great.
I wanted to play football in elementary, but I wasn't allowed. So I cheered.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
She also repped her company in 8 out of 10 track and field events, where she won 5 and tied in first for a 6th event.
Oh.
So, like,
she was
kicked ass.
It's funny to me that it's like for her company.
I know. Like, what the hell?
I wish companies still did that. Because, like, I guess it's probably a lot like, you know, in Peltania where limited brands have their runners, you know?
I am thinking that it was because, get this, okay? This was like 2 years out of that. She was playing in the Olympics.
What?
So I'm wondering.
So it had to have been like a bigger deal than just like, you know, you're going to do this at the company picnic this year where we like meet up with the other.
This isn't like a, let's grab some beers after work and play dodgeball or some shit, right. You know? Because, so In 1932, which again is about 2 years after she starts playing with the company, her insurance company's basketball team and whatnot. What the fuck, right? She sets 4 world records. 4 world records in 1932 when she won 2 gold medals and 1 silver medal for track and field in the 1932 Los Angeles Olympics.
That's awesome.
So, like, she's not playing basketball. She's doing track and field. The Olympics is like, hey, you guys got a real star on your hands here. And they're like, she should be, like, on the U.S. team, man. And then she, like, fucking kicks ass? Like, what the hell?
I don't know. That is pretty crazy. That is very insane.
Medal, she, like, world records? What? Anyways, I was writing this and I was getting mad at her, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, I gotta stop.
I would like to have one of her talents.
I mean,
let's not forget that, like, okay, so far she has a signed record label.
Uh-huh.
She has a hit single.
Uh-huh.
She is now an Olympic gold medalist and silver medalist.
2 gold medals, 1 silver, 4 world records. And she's a competitive seamstress.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget that one.
Yeah. She competes.
By the way, she's only like 20 at this time.
Okay.
And she's a high school dropout. She didn't even graduate high school.
She didn't have to. It was unnecessary for the skills that she had. That's awesome.
I know. Like, what is happening? And she hasn't even discovered what she becomes known for yet, by the way.
We're not even that far.
No. No.
Okay.
No. Not even. Not even close.
Not even close.
No. So she competed in the 80-meter hurdles where she equaled the world record of 11.8 seconds in her opening heat and beat that record with a time of 11.7 seconds, taking gold.
Damn.
That's so fast.
It's so fast.
That's so fast. Okay, 80 meters equals 262 feet in 11.8 seconds.
262 feet in 11.8 seconds.
And those are hurdles? Hurdles?
Hurdles?
Is that jumping them? I hope so. Oh,
you're not just running through them.
Oh, God.
Unless you're me, because I did try to run. I was in high school track and I tried to run hurdles for a hot second. And
God, no. Lord, even the idea of running makes me physically ill.
Well, we didn't have like enough people on our track team for everything. So every once in a while at track meets, my like coach would just come up and be like, and mind you, let me tell you, do you want to know what I did in track? Shot put and discus. I did shot put and discus. So he would come up to me and he'd be like, I need you to run this relay.
No.
In the middle of a fucking meet.
You're like, I throw things. I don't run.
I don't run. Well, then to top that off, first of all, I don't run. I didn't practice running. I didn't practice handing off the fucking like baton. But to top that off, my high school was so small. We didn't have like a football field or like a track field to practice on. So we practiced on the road. And we would have to stop practice and move the hurdles out of the road when cars came.
Oh, no. She won gold again with a record javelin throw, because why stop at just running, of 43.69 meters, which I guess is freaking far as shit, because...
Yeah. That's pretty far, yeah.
I don't know anymore. Meters to feet. But we have international listeners, so please, Lord, please, if you are one of our international listeners, I know you're
just
out
yell us for being fucking more and more.
I know that you're out there. We see the stats. Please tell us that we're idiots. Help us learn.
We are. It's okay.
Help us learn.
We'll get over it.
We'll get it right. and took silver. She took silver again, another silver. So that's four. That's 3 golds and 2 silvers. With another world record. Good grief. It's a world record tying leap in the high jump of 5.44 feet, which she tied a fellow American named Jean Shirley, who we should evidently also look into. Jean Shirley ended up winning the gold that very year.
That's awesome.
She also was a world record gold medalist.
And by the way, just think about it this way. So you're saying that she did the high jump of 5. So she jumped over a human being, over an adult human being.
Taller than myself.
Mm-hmm. She jumped over you.
Plus 2 inches, yes. How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, so she jumped over
me.
What the heck? So Jean Shirley jumped that exact height that year, but it was Shirley ended up winning the gold, and Babe won the silver that year because it was determined that Babe used an improper technique. I don't know exactly what that means.
She was like, Kobe.
So I don't know exactly. Like she did like a weird hand gesture.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Bunny hopped instead of back, because that they jump they jump backwards.
Yeah,
but that's more so you can easily get your back over.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is, by the way? Again, because there were no rules in my high school track team. I also tried to do that.
I believe that. I believe that there are no rules.
None.
Seems like they would have just been like, "Hey, you're on the swim team now," and you're like,
"But we don't have a pool. We don't have a pool.
We made one.
It's that pond next door. We're gonna start swimming in that pond next door. The neighbor said we can.
All right, Coach. Thank you, Coach."
But yeah, no. High jump is hard. Really hard.
That pole seems not sturdy. You know what I mean?
Because you said high jump. You didn't say pole jump. You said high jump, right?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
You're just jumping?
Yeah. Pole jump is the one where you use the pole. High jump is legit where you run up and jump backwards.
That's a no.
She jumped over you with no assistance.
Nah.
Can you just imagine for a second, somebody just running at you and then just whoop?
That's some ninja shit, and I don't like
some ninja shit.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
All right. I don't like it.
I have slight reference to what you're talking about because I was in high school track.
I was not, clearly. I should have done a little bit more research as to what the fuck.
No, it's fine. But yeah.
Looked up what meter was. Looked up what a fucking high jump was. I don't know shit. To this day, to this very moment, she is the only athlete of any sex to win individual Olympic medals in running, throwing, and jumping.
Really? To this day?
To this very moment in time.
That's because you normally don't cross.
Because
you don't cross anymore.
Because not everybody went to your high school, evidently.
Are you done with your thing? You have to come over here and run now.
We ran out of people. Do you mind hopping over to this event?
It's 100% what would happen. With Mr. Kearns, our track coach, would just be like, are you done with your event? Did you throw the ball? Okay. We need you to run the sprint.
Could you not?
I'm one person down. I need you to run the sprint.
Hey, you're bowling now. What? That's not even a track and field event.
Anyways.
Dear heavens. So after the Olympics, she performed on... I forgot about this. God, it gets more annoying. After the Olympics, she performed on the vaudeville circuit.
I mean, with the harmonica? Did she go back to the harmonica?
Baby girl, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
She's just like, I'm doing something else now.
She's like, I'm tired. These knees are weak. She formed Babe Didrikson's All-American basketball team and became a competitive pool player.
I mean, that was the, most obvious next step.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't terribly great. So she got her ass handed to her. And you know what? Good. Because I'm going to be honest.
Just once or twice in life.
Like, listen, babe, you can't be good at everything, okay?
You got to leave some for the rest of us.
Like, heavens to Murgatroyd. You know what I'm saying? No, but she wasn't great, so that didn't last long. But in 1935, 3 years after the Olympics, she began playing golf, and she was denied amateur status for reasons unknown. So when she competed in the LA Open in 1938, which was 3 years after that, so that's a total of 6 years. Yeah, 6 years after the Olympics.
You said 38?
Yes.
She was born in 11?
Yeah.
She's 27?
Yeah.
She's done all this shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's upsetting. I know, when you put it into perspective, you're like, cool. She competed in the PGA, which is the PGA that is still around, which stands for the Pro Golfer Association. So she competed in the Pro Golfer Association without even ever having done the Amateur Golfer Association.
Wasn't allowed to do amateur.
Skipped over that.
I'm assuming maybe that it was because they were like, you're an Olympic gold medalist, you'll be a ringer. You're not allowed to be an amateur.
I'm assuming so.
It was like when Amir tried to sign up for amateur Lesk.
Baby.
And I was like, I can't, like, I understand that you're just getting started in burlesque and you want, like, but I can't do that to my other amateurs. Like, that's not fair.
She was the first woman to compete in the PGA. And the only woman, get this was wild to me. Okay. I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm not like a huge sports person, let alone golf. Like, golf is, no offense to anybody listening who's like a huge golf fan, but like golf is like way down on the list for me. Like,
I was on the high school golf team as well.
Of course you were. I had a huge crush on a guy that was on the golf team, and I thought about being on the golf team, but I was like, no thanks, that's a little too boring for me. But get this, okay? She was the only woman to do this for 6 decades.
I was going to say the PGA, like, golf is a man's, like, it's a man's
but
sport. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Decade?
The 90s. Oh, yeah. Golf was... So
the people to follow her were Annika Sorenstam, Susie Whaley, Michelle Wee, who I've heard of, and Brittany Lincecum.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of maybe 2 of those, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'm surprised that in the 30s she was even allowed on the golf course.
Oh, not only was she allowed, she ended up buying a golf course.
Of course she did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she kicked ass in golf. So during the tournament, she was teamed up with a gentleman who was a pro wrestler at the time. And he was like this big burly man. But he was also a pro golfer. And his name was George Zaharias.
Let's just stop for a minute and mentally picture a giant golfer.
I know. Big old beefy.
Ooh.
Of course, in the 30s, I feel like everybody had that big old giant, like, Babe Ruth type beefy build, right?
You mean like in shape, out of shape, in shape man?
Yes. In shape, out of shape, in shape man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whereas like his like stomach was really big, but he was also seen as like a big burly dude.
Yes, but they can run fast. How? They drink a lot.
I don't
Doesn't
think
make sense.
Babe Ruth ran that fast.
No, but in that time he did because nobody ran fast. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, his name was George Zaharias.
Good last name.
It's the name I mentioned earlier. Do you see the connection?
Mm-hmm.
See where this comes in? And it was love at first sight. Next line.
Next line.
They married 11 months later.
That is quick. Not in those days.
Yeah.
But
Young love, you know what I'm saying?
they weren't even that young for that time frame either.
Oh, no. No. Especially him. He looked old.
They all did.
I don't know much of his story, except that he was a pro wrestler and he looked old and burly. That's all I know about him.
This is not his story. It's her story.
It is. It is. It is. And boy, it is.
Is it?
Though she wavered between pro and amateur status throughout the years, because what's weird is she eventually became amateur again. Even though she wasn't allowed it at the beginning, it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
I know nothing about sports.
I don't either, and I didn't question it. I was like, I'm just going to write it down. She became the first female golf celebrity. Like, people knew her all over the place.
So it was golf.
Golf.
It was golf that made her a celebrity.
Golf. Not what she got gold medals in, not what she won world records in. Golf. So weird.
Okay.
Not even televised. Like, golf was not televised. Nothing. No. I mean, baseball was televised.
Yeah. But, honestly, people would not have been able to watch golf back in those days.
People can barely watch golf now.
Right? There weren't enough hours of TV in the day for people to waste it on golf then.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, golfers.
I know. I'm so sorry. But it said, I said, and certainly the leading player of the 40s and 50s of all sports. Like, she was so well-rounded.
Yeah.
That she literally took the lead in every sport.
That's awesome.
Everything. So, in 1947, she became the first American to win the British Ladies Amateur Open.
I didn't know that they had a lead because, like,
I mean, I don't know if that is still like a continuing thing.
But here's the thing. Okay, so golf is like historically a hugely male. Like, women aren't even allowed on the course.
Correct.
Thing.
Correct. And
okay,
here is the very next point.
Okay.
She was a founding member of the Ladies Professional Golf Association in 1950.
Okay.
So
that makes more sense.
Because of her, probably, that it is more of a, like, women are accepted into that. And her and her husband, George, is that his name? I already forgot.
Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Golf is historically white men.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Like, and I mean, like, in a very, very racist and, like, classist and sexist way.
Uh-huh.
That is why the president loves it.
Absolutely. But yeah, so they bought a golf course in Florida because, of course, and they lived on the golf course and ran it, and
that's awesome.
Let everybody golf there. Like, that's what they did. By 1950, she had won every single golf title available, totaling 82 awards.
Damn.
What the hell?
Damn.
She's
a lot
I won't stop.
And by what year did you say?
1950.
Okay, so, I mean, yeah, she's in her 40s now.
40s, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is still young.
Still young. I mean, like, she
won. So
I feel like she was like, you know what? I'm not a spry young kid anymore. I'm going to switch to golf. She can't, like, run.
At that point, she's ran her knees to like nubs.
Right. Like you can't keep doing basketball and you can't keep doing track forever.
Right.
She was like, I tried pool.
My fingers probably hurt from being a competitive seamstress.
I've got nothing but calluses.
Damn. Charles McGrath from the New York Times wrote, except perhaps Arnold Palmer, no golfer has ever been more beloved by the gallery.
Really? That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Since Arnold Palmer.
From now on, rosé wine is going to be called Babe Zaharias.
No, it has to be like rosé mixed with iced tea. Because that's what
my God, that sounds awful.
Because an Arnold Palmer is lemonade and iced tea.
I know.
So it has to be
so bad.
Rosé and iced tea.
Gross. What about, like, I don't know, we'll think of something.
We'll do better, guys.
Our next show, we'll think of something and we'll make a new.
And we'll be drinking it.
We will. And we'll let you all know before. I forgot about this already. Oh yeah, she played baseball too.
By the way.
Oh yeah.
How is she at baseball? I'm assuming pretty damn good.
I'll tell you about it.
Oh, okay, I'm here for that.
On March 20th, 1934, this is back in time, so I'm kind of pulling a Family Guy where you do a flashback. She pitched one inning in a Major League Baseball spring training game for the Philadelphia Athletics against the Brooklyn Dodgers. And then 2 days later, she pitched again for the St. Louis Cardinals against the Boston Red Sox. Got the hiccups.
So she was a pitcher?
She was a pitcher. Well, because she threw the javelin.
Right.
She was like, she won a world record in it. So it makes sense.
I mean, she was a good basketball player.
Yeah, so it makes sense to be a pitcher, right?
I mean, like, this is way different than, like,
right. She is still to this day recognized as the world record holder for furthest baseball throw by a female.
That's awesome.
What is this?
She's still holding that record?
Still holding this record. I just did this research like last week.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I forgot all about that. I just started this story, and I even mentioned baseball at the beginning of the story, and I completely forgot already. What the hell? I'm almost done, I promise.
That's okay.
Through the 50s, she grew increasingly close with a fellow golfer named Betty Dodd, and they became touring partners on the golf circuit. Throughout the later years in her career, Betty and George's marriage became a bit rocky in the 50s, but I never really saw that they were officially divorced. So I think they just like kept their business partnership steady for like their, like their golf course and their image.
Or like keeping up appearances.
Yeah, I think so, because like they were both so well known in like the athletic world. I'm assuming. I don't know. However, Miss Dodd did move in with Babe in 1950.
Wait, who moved in with Babe?
Your eyes got so wide. You're like, wait, what?
Wait, I think I missed something.
Betty Dodd that she was on the golf circuit with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They were just really good friends and roommates.
Uh-huh. So though the term lesbian wasn't ever used, it was fairly understood by many that their relationship was sexual and romantic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think George just kind of let it happen.
George is like, well, I guess that's...
Like, I guess I'll just sleep in the garage tonight, ladies.
I guess that this is happening.
Betty Dodd was adorable. So I was excited
Secret
to get the story, and
lovers.
it wasn't what I thought, and then it was, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it was a roller coaster for me. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
Because I started out thinking like, yeah, lesbian love story, and then it wasn't, and then it was.
And then you're like, but then it was the end, which, I mean, like, honestly, is all you could really hope for in those days.
Truly.
Like, secret lesbian love story.
That's right. So in 1953, Babe was diagnosed with colon cancer. But it didn't actually hold her down for too long. After she had surgery to remove the tumor, she made a brief comeback in 1954 while she was wearing a colonoscopy bag.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know. So like she was like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm cool.
I just
don't worry about it.
Hop in with my bag. Don't
mind
me.
Like don't mind this thing."
That's awesome. So I'd be like, she's like, I'm not gonna let it hold me down. Like I'm still who I was. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like she didn't stop. By 1955, unfortunately, though, her cancer came back. And she ended up passing away by September 27th, 1957, at the age of 45. So
young.
She did all of that.
She lived a full life in those 45 years, but it's still so young. Can you imagine what else she could have done?
Oh my gosh, I know.
And colon cancer is like the fucking worst.
Oh, I know. My grandma had it. During her final years, she used her celebrity status to be a public advocate for seeking diagnosis or treatment for suspected cancer. She was also a spokesperson for the American Cancer Society. And Miss Betty Dodd lived with her until her dying day.
It's a sweet, sweet lesbian love story.
I know. I wish I knew more about that, but I don't.
No. There should be a movie, at least on,
Babe.
There should be a movie on Babe.
Damn, could you imagine? Who could you even get to play something?
I don't know what she looks like yet. I'm trying to think. I mean,
I'll tell you.
Unfortunately, she's already aged out, but she reminds me of like a Gina Davis type person, because Gina Davis is also like.
Well, you think of like A League of Their Own, Mm-hmm.
And Gina Davis was also almost an Olympian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The buffest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I couldn't. So speaking of buff human beings,
yes,
the person I'm shouting out is the buffest human being I know.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm down with this. I'm good.
And you know this person.
I had a feeling.
You know that this person is buff and will kick our ass.
Fucking buff as shit.
With one hand.
One-handed.
Le Baton.
Yeah.
But Le Baton is the buffest human being I've ever met in my life. And she is so graceful with her muscle tone and her ability. And
she's like this beautiful package of petite muscular. Like like you don't have to be this like giant whopping figure to be such a strong person.
Right. I met her years ago through trauma, I assume. I don't even know. You know when you know a person and you're like, how did I even meet?
You're just the person that I know and I've known you forever.
Yes. Yeah. I can't even remember anymore.
I think our first introduction to her was Button and Snap.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
Button and Snap, and then she formed Button and Her Notions. Mm-hmm. And she was also part of the Open Heart Creatures.
Mm-hmm. And the Amazing Giants.
Yep. The Amazing Giants and Anna and the Androids.
And Anna and the Androids, which I believe was before everything else.
Yes.
So I think I'd seen her perform as Anna and the Androids, but I didn't know her then.
Right.
Then I met her through like the trauma, and I think we probably met her. What was that Gothic club? That
Outlands.
Outlands. We probably met her in an Outlands show, I think.
Probably at the exact same show that I met Casey at.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. Fantasy Island.
Yes.
And she is just, her aerial work is phenomenal, and just a stunning figure of a person.
Like, yeah, she's a real performer, and she does it from such an athletic standpoint.
Yes.
And I watch her all the time, and like, I think to myself, I'm like, she just builds on it. She just builds on it, like, and builds on it and builds on it and builds on it. Like, I remember watching her like work on her handstands, and just watching her work on her silk work and work, like all of that. And she just builds and builds and works so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, stunning performer, great personality, just a really lovely person all around. And
what a wonderful stage performer too. Like, she's just
absolutely, and creative. Just like, her ideas for performances are endless, really.
Yeah.
Just so creative, like, all around. And fun fact, to build on your person for the athlete episode, she also works with pizza.
Really? Wait, she does. She works at that really cool restaurant.
Yes. I know. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Athletic and pizza go together.
When I was like writing it down, I was like, what the fuck? My person also works with pizza.
Did you see that Leona actually like tagged us to show us a big?
Yes.
Did you see her? Like, yeah.
I was like, listen, I
badass.
get one of her pizzas. It needs to be celiac approved, but
I don't think you can window pane celiac.
Huh?
I don't think you can window pane celiac like dough, right?
You cannot, but I'm sure she can make it work.
I'm sure she can make a delicious gluten-free dough.
That is it for this insanely long, and I'm so sorry, episode, but it's got some special little goodies. It's got some listener info in there that I will cut out and like specialize into segmented pieces.
And while we're on listener info, we should definitely say, hey guys, like us.
And subscribe.
Rate.
Comment.
Say something. Rate. Share us with your friends.
And recommend us to others.
Yeah.
And recommend things to talk about to us.
Things to talk about. Or just send us, if you want to give somebody a shout out, if you need a shout out, like if you're proud of yourself, I'm happy to give you a shout out. If you have somebody who's been really like showing it up and bringing it every day, I mean, like, I want to hear those people. Did you have somebody that like worked the phone banks? Did you work the phone banks this election season? I want to talk about it. Did you not work?
A male person?
Are you a male person? Oh my God, yes.
Do you know a male person?
I know a male person.
Shout out. Hey, write an anonymous shout out, Betty, about a male person
who needs a shout out. But no. So yes, so you can send those to revolutionrosies@gmail.com.
Or you can tweet us at revolutionrosies with a Y instead of an IES.
Yes.
Or you can Instagram us at revolutionrosies, spelled the normal way.
And you can also find us on Facebook and message us there at Revolution Rosies. So we look forward to hopefully hearing from you. We hope that you enjoyed our story and that your story was pretty amazing.
So sorry.
I'm not going to lie. I was like super rooting for her to be a lesbian the whole time.
I'm telling you what, when I was writing it and I saw she got married, I was like, damn you.
I know. I was actually literally the whole time I was like, oh yeah. Until you're like, and then she, met the man and that she married
a wrestler and I was like, still a lesbian.
Oh, I did want to point out, I forgot to say, so you saw that I went rollerblading this weekend.
I saw that. I'm so envious.
I fell down just once.
That's awesome, though.
Mike said it was a C minus.
For falling only once.
But I busted my knee. Like, no, I didn't bust it. Okay, that's like an over exaggeration. I popped my knee, so it's been real tender. And then there's like a blister on the bottom of my foot. So I'm definitely in my 30s. But
once you hit that hump, there ain't no turning back.
No turning back. But my good friend Jamie, who also lives here in Westerville with me, was like, I have rollerblades. If you have rollerblades and I have rollerblades, we can rollerblade together. So hopefully I'm going to start a rollerblading girl gang in Westerville.
Oh, I want to be in your rollerblading girl gang.
You can be my rollerblading girl gang.
Can I just run real fast beside you guys?
Guys, wait up. You gotta buy, you know what? You can probably find really inexpensive rollerblades at the thrift store, especially with your teeny tiny feet.
I have antique feet.
Yes, you do. You can wear antique shoes.
I can.
And it's a wonderful thing, and they're beautiful and petite.
All right.
All right.
Are you Quentin Tarantino fans? Have a great evening. We are Revolution Rosies signing off.
Smear lipstick.
And raise hell. Bye.